assets. But we're gonna actually track the stock price over the next 12 time steps, the next 12 months, and we're gonna see how it will change. We're gonna simulate the changes over time, and then figure out what the price will be in the future. Okay. Of course, if the asset increases 2% of the length of 1 year, and 1 year from now it's worth 102, my option at the end will be worth 12 units. At the expiration, my payoff will be, I can buy the asset here for 90, sell by 102, and I make 12 in profit immediately, okay? Or I can, of course, keep the asset if I want, but that's the intrinsic value that it will have on that day at the expiration. Of course, 12 in profits 1 year from now is not the same thing as 12 today, so there's a discounted payoff. Okay, we are discounting this 12 units of profit by the risk-free rate, by the value of the money over time, so it's worth a little bit less. Okay, but this is only one scenario. If we look at what may occur, for example, there's another scenario where prices might go either down or up and down again, and you end up 12 months from now with an asset worth 82, and 82 is less than 20. Therefore, my option has no value at all. There's no point in buying something and pay 90 for this if I can buy it in the markets on the free market for 82. Okay, so my payoff would be 0 for this call option. Another scenario would be, let me get another good one here. Let's suppose that prices go up over time because of the volatility. Prices may go down and up and end up costing 118 within 12 months. Therefore, my option, my call contract here will be worth 28, 118 minus 90. Discounted over time, that's roughly 28 again. And that's how much money I would make. Now, of course, all of these scenarios are possible. What we're creating here are scenarios for the price based on the historical volatility that we observed, okay, on our forecast of volatility, which is based on the historical volatility of 20% of this asset. The volatility, the time to expiration, and the initial price, they drive the change of prices over time, and they create the distribution of the final price here at the end, okay? If I run a Monte Carlo simulation now, I'll be able to assess what is the distribution of the final price here, okay? And if we look at the distribution of the final price, we see there's a good likelihood it will be above 90, the option I'm interested in. There's a good likelihood, 70% chances to be above 90. Therefore, of course, there's some value associated with this option, okay? So that's what we're modeling here. We're not gonna model the option directly, we're gonna model the underlying asset and how it varies over time. The underlying asset can be anything. In this case, it's a stock price with a very simple geometric Brownian motion model, but it could be anything. It could be a basket of commodities. It could be the performance of a company. It could be anything. The simulation gives you the freedom and the flexibility to model anything you need. But once you model the changes in price and the final asset value at the expiration of your contract, you can then evaluate the payoff of your option at that point in time. The payoff of an option is basically, the formula is pretty simple. It's either 0 if the option is worthless. For example, if the asset price goes down over time and it's worth less than my strike, it's 0. Or if the asset was overvaluated over time here, if it's more valuable, it's the stock price, the final stock price, 128, minus the strike, 90. That's the value you see here, 38.73. So the payoff formula of the option is pretty simple. In this specific case, it's a maximum between price minus strike or simply 0. Okay, it can't be negative. You can't lose money at the payoff because you have the right, not the obligation, to purchase this. Okay. Therefore, the minimum possible value is 0. It becomes worthless. Okay. Of course, you can lose money because you're paying something for that right now to acquire this right. So this initial price you're paying, we have to calculate what it is to make sure that we are paying a fair price or close to a fair price, correct? So that's the idea of options. And what we're going to do with that risk here is we're not going to model the option directly. We're going to model the asset, the underlying asset, and with the payoff formula of the option. And this is where the contract comes in. This option we see here is the standard vanilla call, but we have, for example, a call with barrier or a call with special conditions. We can model those conditions on the payoff of the option, and then simulate the value of this option over time. The average value, the mean value, the average value of all possible outcomes of the option is the fair price of the option. So after we calculate what the value of the asset is at expiration, we can calculate the payoff of the option. We can have a distribution for the payoff of the option, the discounted payoff actually, and then we calculate the average of that. That's how much I should pay right now in order to pay a fair value for this option. Of course, if volatility goes up or down over time, things will change, and that happens in financial markets. That can also be modeled. You could have a different volatility